Hello students, in this video we are going to study the remaining part of the chapter number 6. The chapter name is Physical and Chemical Changes, Class 7, Subject Science, NCERT. In the previous video of this chapter we had seen the physical and chemical changes. We had seen that some changes in our surroundings are physical changes and some are chemical changes, and a change in which a substance undergoes a change in its physical properties like shape, dimensions, color or state, but no new substance is formed, then this kind of change is known as the physical change. Like to cut a paper into pieces, to prepare ice from water. So these are the physical changes. Then after we had seen chemical change. So a change in which one or more new substances are formed is called a chemical change. Like burning of a thin strip or ribbon of magnesium, then rusting of iron are the examples of chemical changes. And then after we had seen some activities for these physical and chemical changes. Now let we continue our chapter with rusting of iron. Next topic, that is rusting of iron. So earlier we had seen that this rusting of iron is an example of chemical change. So let us get back to rusting. This is one change that affects iron articles or the objects which is made up of iron, and it slowly destroys them. Since iron is used in making bridges, ships, cars, truck bodies or the different parts of truck and many other articles. If you observe, then everything around you are made up of, most of the things from this are made up of this iron. Like the examples are given to you, that is bridges, ships, cars, then truck body parts and different objects. The monetary loss due to rusting is huge, and because of this most of the items are made up of iron. So that's why monetary loss, that means the loss or money loss, the loss which is related to money. So this money loss due to this rusting is in huge amount. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation. How this rusting happen, this process is given to you by this equation. In that iron objects, that is Fe, reacts with oxygen which is present in the air. It can be represented by the O2. And in the presence of water vapor or water, that means H2O, so it will form rust which is known as the iron oxide, or it is its chemical name, iron oxide, that is Fe2O3. So this is the equation for the rusting process. And for rustings, the presence of both oxygen and water, or you can also say water vapor, is essential. If the oxygen and water is there, then iron object get rusted. And in fact, if the content of moisture in the air is high, the moisture content is high, that means water particles are high, then it can be said that it is more humid and rusting becomes faster in this type of conditions. Where the humid air is there, in that kind of air the rusting process can be faster. So now how do we prevent the rusting? So the question is that how we can prevent this rusting. So prevent iron articles from coming in contact with oxygen or water or both. So as we had seen that for rusting, oxygen and water both are required or essential. So to prevent this rusting, we have to prevent the iron articles from coming in contact with this oxygen, water or both of them. And one simple way is to apply a coat of paint or grease. Another thing you can do is you can make the color, or you can color the iron articles or the objects which is made up of iron. You can apply a coat, that means a layer of paint or color, or you can also grease them, that means you can apply oil over there. So this is how we can prevent this rusting. And in fact these coats should be applied regularly to prevent rusting. And if you are painting the colors or painting the objects which are made up of iron or oiling this kind of articles, then you have to apply it at regular interval of time to prevent this rusting. And another way is to deposit a layer of metal like chromium or zinc on iron. Another way you can do is you can apply another layer of metal on the iron objects like chromium or zinc. So this is how we can prevent this rusting. Here Paheli is saying something that, that is why my friend Rita is always complaining about iron articles rusting so fast. Her friend Rita is complaining about the iron articles get rusted faster because she lives near the coast. That means she lives near the coastal areas or the area near the sea, and that's why the air is humid, more humid over there. So that's why the rusting process become faster over there. And this process of depositing layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. As we had seen, to prevent the rusting, we can also apply the another metal layer on the iron article. So this process of depositing the layer of zinc on the iron is called galvanization. And the iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting. As these pipes are carrying water, and we had seen that in rusting process, water played a main part. So to prevent this rusting, these pipes are galvanized to prevent rusting. And you know that ships are made of iron. Now one another thing is that ships are made up of iron, and we see that a part of that, a majority part of them remains under water. So on the part of above the water also, the water drops keep clinging to the ship's outer layer. And the upper part of the ship also, the water drops of the sea water, it gets on the ship's outer surface. And moreover, the water of the sea contains many salt. Sea water is salty, so it contains many salt, and the salt water makes this process of rusting or the rust formation faster. So therefore, the ships suffer a lot of damage from this rusting in spite of being painted. So that's why the majority part of the ship is covered with water, or it come in contact with water, so it face a major or it suffer a lot of damage from this rusting. So to prevent this, they are painting the surface, outer surface of the ship, and so that a fraction of ship's iron has to be replaced every year. And because of this rusting, the part of the ship which is made up of iron is replaced every year. They are replacing it every year. Now it's about one ship. Now imagine in the world total so many ships are there. So what is the loss due to this rusting? So now can you imagine the monetary loss of the world? If in one ship we have to replace its part of iron every year, then what about the other ships and other articles which is made up of iron? It causes a huge monetary loss. So this is rusting. Now next topic is crystallization. In class 6, you have learned that salt can be obtained by the evaporation of seawater. You already know that by the evaporation process on the seawater, we can get the salt. And the salt we are getting in this manner is not pure, and the shape of its crystal cannot be seen clearly. The shapes are also not seen clearly, and the salt which we are getting is also not pure. However, the large crystals of pure substance can be formed from their solution. We can make the large crystal of this pure substance from its solution. And getting this large crystals from its solution is known as the crystallization. This process is known as the crystallization, and it is an example of physical change. It is a kind of physical change because in the we are getting crystal from its solution. So here the state only change. So this kind of change is known as the physical change. So this crystallization process is also a physical change. Here one activity is given to you to get to know more about this crystallization. Activity number 6.9. You do not have to try it at your home. This should be performed in the presence of the teacher only. And one question is also there. Use only dilute sulfuric acid and be careful while boiling water. So for this activity we require a cup full of water in a beaker. We have to take a one cup of water in a beaker, and then after we have to add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid. And then after we have to heat this water, and when it starts boiling, we have to add copper sulfate powder slowly while stirring continuously. It is shown to you in the figure 6.6. Later we will see. First we have to take the 1 cup of water in a beaker, and then after we have to add some drops of dilute sulfuric acid. Dilute sulfuric acid, that means acid in which the concentration of the sulfuric acid is less. So we have to add the few drops of this, and then after we have to heat water, and while heating or boiling we have to add copper sulfate powder slowly, and we have to stir that solution continuously. And we have to continue adding copper sulfate powder till no more powder can be dissolved. That means we have to make saturated solution. We have to add the powder of this copper sulfate until the no more powder can be dissolved. And copper sulfate is a kind of salt. Now allow it to cool. Then after we have to allow the solution to cool, and do not disturb the solution when it is cooling. And look at the solution after some time, and can you see the crystals of copper sulfate? And if not, wait for some more time. After some time you will notice that the crystals of copper sulfate are there at the bottom of the beaker, and these are blue in color. Here it is shown to you in the figure the crystals of copper sulfate in the copper sulfate solution. So this process is known as the crystallization, in which we converted the crystal powder copper sulfate into its crystal form. So you have learned about physical and chemical changes till now, and now try to identify the changes that you observe around you as the physical or chemical changes. The changes which are happening around you, you have to identify the change, which kind of change is there, either physical or chemical change. Here some keywords are given to you. You have to write these hard words. First one is chemical change. Next is chemical reaction, crystallization, galvanization, physical change, and rusting. Let us quickly summarize this chapter, what we have learned from this chapter. So we had seen that changes can be of two types, that is physical and chemical. Then we had seen that physical changes are changes in the physical properties of substance, and no new substance are formed during these changes. And these changes may be reversible. Not all the physical changes, but few of them are reversible. And in chemical changes, new substances are produced. Then after we had seen that some substance can be obtained in pure state from their solution by crystallization. By this we can obtain the pure substance from its solution. So these are the things we had seen in this chapter. In the next video, we will see the textbook solution for this chapter. Thank you.